Okay. We are live. I'm just going to post in the pages and then we'll go from there. We Everybody has to bear with us when we do this. Okay. What's wrong? Okay. On this one on silent. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to be hosting this training tonight. I've got 4 lovely ladies on the call with me tonight, or training live view, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, Kat Borders was not able to join, so if we can keep her family in our prayers tonight. They're just going through some stuff, and so we just want to pray for them, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'm super excited. Tonight is our Newbie to Ruby training, and if we can go ahead and just start, like we'll go April, Cassie, Jess, and Kaylee. If y'all can just introduce yourselves, share your rank, and then maybe just one little thing about either why you joined or just something about yourself, whatever.
Okay, hi everybody. My name's April Barrow. I joined It Works last August, and I just made Emerald rank, so super excited about that. I joined It Works just to make a couple hundred extra dollars a month. My son had been struggling with some health issues, and his treatment wasn't covered by insurance, and the supplements were just very expensive. And even though financially we were fine and it wasn't a big deal, but that was just one thing. I was like, you know what, I don't want to have to mess with this in our budget. I don't have to fit it in. So if I had a couple extra $100 a month, that'd be great. And It Works has certainly blessed us beyond measure, and we have certainly surpassed that.
I love it. I love it. And you earned your $2,000 bonus, so congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Cassie, you are up.
My name is Cassie Nero. I'm a double diamond. That's crazy to even say that. I've been with the business for a year as of March 31st, so that's even crazier because I can't believe it's already been a year. I actually joined because I saw Erin posting on Instagram, and still to this day we don't know how we actually were following each other, but we were. And I reached out to her about products and became a loyal customer, and a few days later I actually reached out to her and became a distributor, which was not planned, so it was very spontaneous for me, but it has absolutely changed my life. Just a little background on me. I used to be a hairdresser. I'm 24 years old. I live in Houston, Texas, and I am no longer a hairdresser and work full-time with It Works. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. All right, Jess, you're up.
So Jessica Dunbar, and I am 29 years old. I've been with It Works since November, just right in the middle of November, right before the holidays. And I joined because a few different reasons, but and I said this last week, so I don't want to definitely keep repeating myself, but because I will be the first to admit that I'm super selfish, and we had a big boat fix at the end of the year, and my husband told me, next year we're just not going to be able to go as much because we had to spend so much to get the boat fixed. And I thought, there's no way I'm letting that happen. So I had been following Erin for a while, and we just connected, and it was all history. I just went diamond last month, and we live in Utah, southern Utah, close to Vegas, and we have a 2-year-old daughter.
I love it. Congrats. All right, Miss Kaylee.
Okay, so I'm Kaylee Pettiford. I went diamond last month. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I went diamond last month, and I joined kind of like everybody else. I just wanted like $500 to make my car payment. And I had a lot of people in my family that told me that I was going to fail and it was going to be a horrible mistake, and it's actually kind of changed their mindset on all of this too, so that's kind of been really nice to like prove them wrong a little bit. I like doing that. But we are 25 weeks pregnant. I'm from Indianapolis. I'm a paralegal at a law firm. and I coach volleyball and then do this on the side, and I started last June, so almost a year.
Awesome. I'm so proud of y'all. So I'm Erin Tweed. I am 27. I always get my age confused. 27, originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and we moved to Houston coming on 4 years. And so I got started just to make some extra money to help with Finn's daycare. When we first started starting, he was in 5 days a week, and I was working full-time as a nurse. And you guys are all going to see my story because tomorrow is my 30-day push day. So you'll see it tomorrow. There's more to come. So I'm really excited to do this training. This can be for newbies. It can be for people that have been in the business a while. You know, these are just some good refresher tips. So we are going to start off kind of on the first thing. When you first get started, you know, obviously, you know, walking your new distributors through their training, getting them started just with the basic foundation, we all get that. So the next thing that I always tell people to do is start making your hundreds list. The hundreds list is so important, so that way you're not aimlessly scrolling through Facebook all the time. You really kind of have a working list, and we're going to talk about messaging and what to post and how to you know, talk with people. But starting the hundreds list is so important. So when you first get started, I suggest you print off 2. If you don't want to print them off, you know, get a piece of notebook paper or whatever, and make 2 different lists, and one being for potential customers and one being for potential distributors. Don't be afraid to put those scary names on that distributor list of those people that you are scared. Even if they're, you know, 96 through 100, I want you to eventually talk to them. I always say, you know, put your dream team on there. Put those top 5 people that you absolutely want on this business, you know, on this journey in this business with you. Put their names on that list. When we start to talk about messaging and reaching out to people every day, this is going to be kind of your working list that you can use, and you can have that working list of who to reach out to, who to talk to, or if, you know, you can start with family and friends, you know, just letting them know, hey, I've started a new business, I'm really excited about it, and I would really appreciate your support. Would you be interested in trying out a product for 3 months for me, and just being a product tester? You know, reach out, start simple, start with your warm market, and then we're going to talk about adding people and all that, but just having that hundreds list. Now, the hundreds list as you've been in, so people that have been in for a little bit, and let's say, you know, you're on like your 500s list or whatever. I always keep a list. Now, it does not mean that I always write things down. A lot of times, if I have people's contact numbers and things like that, I save them as like PDT before their name, like potential distributor, or PLC for potential loyal. That's also my hundreds list, and that's just how I can keep organized in my phone. I do have a handwritten list, but that list doesn't always go with me, so I try and keep everything in my phone. If you like to keep your notebook with you in your purse all the time, use whatever is going to work for you, but make sure that you have that hundreds list. So this is going to be kind of your working list, as well as a list for people that you want to follow up with. So it's going to be kind of like a revolving cycle. You know, the top of the list, you may be just starting to talk with them, but like midway through, those may be your follow-up people. Never take anybody off your follow-up list or your hundreds list. Don't ever count them out just because they've ignored you twice. I have a girl that just messaged me back after I messaged her 14 times. 14 times. Literally 14 times, where it's just blue, 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 blue message, and she didn't respond. And finally she's like, you know what, I think I'm really ready to join this. So don't give up on people just because they're not ready. Everybody's time will come in this business. So first thing to get started is make that hundreds list. Do y'all have anything you want to add on the hundreds list? If not, I'm going to go ahead and jump into what to post and kind of starting off on that end. We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what to post. The hardest thing, I think, for new distributors when you first get started is figuring out how to kind of talk to people about joining the business, or to share the business opportunity, or to share kind of your adventure, because a lot of people are very timid and know, like, I haven't made a ton of money overnight, so like, how can I talk to people about joining this adventure with me when I haven't made that money and I can't prove them, you know, prove to them what I've done. And so what I always tell new distributors to do is start posting like dream board posts, or, you know, things that you want for your life. It doesn't mean that it's all happening overnight and you've made $1 million and all of a sudden you paid off all this debt. You know, this business takes time. But what you can do when you start posting is share, this is our story, this is why we joined, this is what we're doing about it. We joined this amazing business and we're going to work our butts off, and this is what we want from it. So past, present, future. Kind of catering it all into one post. There are some great templates out there, so don't be afraid to save them in your phone, but also remember that you need to make them your own, because everybody's story is different. So it doesn't look good if we just go and copy and paste every single thing. Make sure you're making these posts your own. So I always say kind of a 3-for-3 rule, or making sure that you at least post 3 to 5 times a day. 3-for-3 rule, what does that mean? 3 lifestyle posts and 3 it works posts. So it can be an it works post like a before and after, or a product tester post, or it can be like a shared story. It can be a post about joining the business, whatever. And then your lifestyle posts are going to be things like talking about your family, talking about the fun that you're having, talk about your friendships, talk about fitness, fashion, all those F's that people love to talk about. Share those things. The problem with social media is that you don't get that face-to-face interaction and connection with people. So a lot of times it takes longer for people to be able to trust you or get to know you. So you have to kind of let them in. You have to let your guard down a little bit and show people and let them know who you are. So share your interests, share things that you love. It doesn't matter, like, I'm always posting pictures of like crazy food or like fashion or anything like that, but those are things that I'm interested in. Don't post things that you think people will love but you aren't really interested in. Really let people know who you are. Those lifestyle posts, so if you're talking about joining your team, please do not just go and find like a picture and say, join my team for $99. Please don't do that. People have, if they are going to look at this as a business and they're going to want to join you, they have to feel something. They have to feel some type of emotion. They have to feel like, God, she's so excited. I can feel that through her post. I just want to do that because I'm so excited. Or, you know what, I know how determined she is, and I know that she's going to get that $500 bonus. Why can't I get that? Make them feel something in your post. Don't just put, hey, join my team for $99, because it's easy to just put that picture out there and make that your post. It's not going to get anybody. You are not going to sign any person from just posting that. So I'm going to tell you that right now. Take that off the board and just make sure that you share your adventure and share what's going on in your life. And that's how you are going to get people to follow your journey and trust you and be able to join your team. So do you all have anything else that you want to add on, what to post, Jess?
I do. Just going back to the creating the excitement, you can't just say, join my team for $99, because especially when you're just starting and you're wanting to really get into your circle of influence first, those people that know you don't speak like that. And so to them, it seems like, all your doubters are just going to doubt even more, because now you're not even really doing anything on your own. You're just taking from someone else, or just taking that like simple, it costs $99. Like, put that into your own words and your own emotions, so that the people that do know you know that you're really putting your whole heart into this. And I think that's what's going to attract first your warm market and then carry on through that.
Yep, exactly.
Can I say something too, Erin?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it's also really important to know that every post you make doesn't have to be about It Works. I know when I signed up under Kelsey Thornton, and whenever she first joined, I thought it was so, I was one of those people that was like, oh my gosh, like this stuff that she keeps posting about. The literally only reason that I kept her as a friend is because of Mac, her daughter. She kept posting pictures of Mac, and she's so cute. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be her friend still because her daughter is adorable. And then I ended up joining her team. So just know that, if you include more of your life and don't have to make every post about It Works, you can obviously, it's good to tie some of your posts, well, most of your posts in about It Works, but throw in a post here and there about your family, or like Erin said, fitness, fashion, something, so that it keeps their attention if they're not interested right now.
Yep, because otherwise all you're really doing on your newsfeed is spamming people, and you're just like, hey, I'm just going to keep putting ads out there for you. Come on, people, come to me. No, people are not going to be attracted to that. So you just have to make sure that you're sharing your adventure, you're sharing who you are, and you're putting it out there. It is scary to kind of open up a little bit, because a lot of times you're going to think, oh my gosh, like, what are people going to think? I remember literally the day that I joined, and Alyssa welcomed me, and one of my family members literally commented and they said, "I hope you read the fine print." And I was like, but it was one of those things I was just like, all right, whatever. Like, I just use that to fuel my fire. So the thing is, I share my adventure. I've always, and another thing with posting is you have to make sure that you're consistent. I can't believe I even forgot that. I always say that. Consistency is key. People are going to follow you for quite some time. You may have people that, you know, are going to jump right on board and they automatically see that vision, but then you're going to have a lot of people that sit back and watch you. And they're going to make sure that you're being consistent. When they come and they're ready to go, they're going to come to that person that's always working their business because they want somebody that they can trust and that's going to lead them in the right way. So you have to make sure that you're always putting it out there. Not to say you're spamming people all the time, but make sure that you're always working your business and make sure that you're always consistently posting about, you know, a few before and afters or product testers or lifestyle, whatever. Just make sure that you're always consistent no matter what you do. So that kind of leads me into, like, Cass, with tying hundreds lists and messaging, kind of like reaching out to people and not just sitting back on the sidelines waiting for all these people to come to you.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so I am a firm believer in cold messaging. That is how I've built my business. I actually, when I first started, I started with Facebook first. So I was always posting on Instagram and Facebook, but I really worked Facebook more than Instagram as far as messaging goes. I don't know why, I just did. I think it's because I was comfortable with it. And I really didn't know much about messaging on Instagram. So for those of you that feel that way, we have a great Instagram training that you guys can watch that Aaron and Rachel Jones did not too long ago. I forget when it was, but that helped me so much with this, like, as far as like messaging on Instagram. So I kind of do this, like, similar things on Instagram and Facebook, but they are very different. So kind of what I do, which is actually something that I learned from Aaron, when I message on Instagram, what I do is I take one day to message my followers, and I take one day to message my my following, which are people who could be following you, but you don't really know because it's basically just a list of people that you're following that could or could not be following you back. You just don't know unless you compare the lists. So that's how I stay organized and I keep track of it, because I'll know who I've messaged and who I haven't. I don't know how I keep track of it mentally, but I do. So I kind of know, like, where I stop, and I typically message, I'd say probably 25 to 30 people a day. For me, that's what I can keep up with, because I like to keep those conversations very, very personal. I really like to get to know who I'm talking to, and I really want to dig deep and find out why they want to be a part of something like this if they are interested. Because I feel like anybody will know what I'm talking about, but I feel like with any business, not just this one, when you're messaging people, if you're not personal or you're not creating that relationship, the immediate thing they're going to think of is that you're just messaging them because you want to make money off of them and you want them to sign up for whatever you're doing. And they're not going to feel like you care about them, and they're not going to feel like you care about their business. So that's why we always talk about building those relationships with people and how they're so, so important. Because to be honest, what I do is I probably only have maybe a handful of people on my team that I knew before this business. Majority of the people that I bring into my business are people I've never met before that I meet on social media. And that was one of the reasons why I joined, was because I wanted to make friends, and I just made myself step outside my comfort zone and just be okay with that idea. And the reason, I know some people, like, on my team talk about how, you know, cold messaging isn't for everybody, and sometimes they talk about how they're scared to message people that they don't know. I was the exact same way. And I couldn't tell you what training it was from, but I heard somebody say this, and y'all might know what I'm talking about. But somebody was talking about cold messaging, and this is when my mindset switched. And they said something so simple that we don't really think about all the time. And it was that when you're scrolling through social media and you're passing all these people on your newsfeed, one of those people that you're passing by could be crying to bed every single night. It could be a single mom. It could be someone who wants to be at home with their kids. It could be a dad who's struggling. It could be anybody, because people only want, they let you see what they want you to see on social media. So if you see somebody who looks like they have like a perfect lifestyle, odds are they probably don't, because they just want, or maybe they do, but they want you to see what they want you to see. So they're not going to post about those struggles and those hardships and things that are going on in their life. So you don't know who needs this and who doesn't. So that's why it's so important not to make excuses for people, because you could be passing up somebody who's sitting out there praying every single night for an opportunity like this, and you have no idea unless you reach out to them. So one thing that they said on this training was, you don't know who those people are, and you are selfish for not giving them this opportunity and giving them the option to choose if it's for them or not, right? So as far as messaging, something that works for me, which is something you guys hear people talk about all the time, I message anybody that likes my pictures, business pictures, not like lifestyle pictures of just like my snow cone or something like that. I message people who like my business posts, which are typically my lifestyle posts about my story or something like that. And anybody that comments. So even if they comment and like give me a compliment, or they comment and say like, that's awesome or something, and it's not necessarily like they're interested, I still message them, because they've read that post and they know what I'm talking about, and they may or may not be interested, and that's okay. But basically something that I say if somebody likes or comments my post, is I usually do it at the end of the day, and I'll go through my post from that day, and I'll go through and message all the people that liked and commented. And what I say is something as simple as, I think I heard this on a Jade Hooper training, and it works for me, so I use it. And it says, I literally just say, hey girl, thanks for the love on my post. Are you interested in learning more about the products or the business? That's it. And I can't tell you how many people have responded to that who were interested, who just didn't reach out to me because for whatever reason, they just didn't reach out to me. So that's how I've started some of those relationships with people who I didn't even know were following me, because they were liking my stuff and I had no idea. So that's something that I say if it's somebody that's liking or commenting, and that goes for Instagram or Facebook. I do it on both. Because as far as I'm concerned, like if you're liking or commenting on something of mine, you're opening the door for me to contact you. So that's what I'm going to do. As far as Facebook, which is kind of where I really, really build my business as far as messaging, which is what I've done since I started. If you notice when you go to people's Facebook pages, a lot of people do not post normal statuses anymore, like about their life, or like a diary is kind of what I refer Facebook to, because it's not really just pictures. People will just write all kinds of stuff on there. And some people just share like videos or like recipes, or you know what I'm talking about, like funny videos and recipes and just stuff. They just share stuff all the time. So really when you go to somebody's page on Facebook, most of the time, there's nothing really for you to interact with, because all you see is all these things that they're sharing. So that was a struggle for me whenever I first started, because I was trying to figure out, how do I interact with these people? Because I don't want to comment on something that they've shared. I want to comment on something that tells me who they are, so I can get to know that person. So what I do is I treat it like Instagram. So I go to their photo album and I'll click on uploads, which is usually the stuff that they've been posting, whether it's 6 months ago or 2 days ago or whatever. That's usually all the stuff that they've uploaded to their page. So I go to their uploads or their photo album and I'll start liking their pictures. And I comment on one, and I will ask a question that requires a response. So if I see, typically what I comment on are like pictures of like cute outfits or shoes, because I'm obsessed with shoes. Lipstick pictures, because I love lipstick. Stuff that I am like, I have that common interest with them. So it allows me to build that conversation and that relationship, because it's something that I'm interested in, that we share that, whatever you want to call it. So like I'll say something, or sunglasses. So I'll be like, oh my gosh, girl, those sunnies are so cute. Where did you get them? Like I ask them a question that requires them to respond to me, so that if I do decide to message that person, that conversation has already been started, so they're not like freaked out that I'm just like randomly messaging them, right? So especially if it's somebody that you don't know. So typically what I do is on Instagram or Facebook, I'm interacting with probably, I would say like maybe 4 to 5 pictures I would be liking, because I don't want to like blow them up and like freak them out, but I want to comment or like 5 pictures, or I'll like 5 pictures and I'll comment on one. Same thing. I ask a question that requires a response, so that I start that conversation with them. Because sometimes if you just comment and say gorgeous or beautiful, if they're pretty, or their child is really cute, or their family is really cute, or just different pictures that you would comment on, sometimes those don't require a response. So sometimes people will respond and they'll be like, oh, thanks, girl. But sometimes they don't. And so if they don't see your comment, they're not even going to know that you commented. So that's why I ask a question, so it requires them to respond to me and to start that interaction with them. For an example for a cold message that I use, and you can kind of like tweak this, but this is one that I've used to use. Okay, and basically what it says, I use something that I learned on a training as far as like what to put in your messages. And what it is you start it with an emoji. I use tons of emojis in my cold message. And the reason for that is because I can't show them my excitement through words. I mean, I can, but people can't really feel your emotion through words, really, most of the time. So what I do is I start it with an emoji, which is typically like a heart or something like that, and I say, hey, and if their name is like Ashley, I say Ash. I give them a nickname. I do that in person a lot. Like, if their name was Ashley, I'd be like, hey, Ash, or I have a girl on my team named Tori, and I say Tor. Like, I call them by a nickname because that's just something that I do. So it's not weird for me to do that, or at least I hope they don't think it's weird. So I'll say like, hey, Ash, and with an exclamation point. And then I'll give them a compliment of some kind. I'll say something like, I had to tell you that I love seeing your posts. Your page inspires me. Or you can give them a compliment like, I feel like we have so much in common. I feel like we would be such great friends. Anything that pertains to your personality. So don't say something that doesn't sound like you, because like we were talking about earlier, if you do that, especially if it's people that you know, they're going to know that that's not how you talk. Or if it's somebody you don't know, people are going to meet you in person and be like, that's totally not the person that messaged me on Facebook or Instagram. So you have to stay true to who you are and say things that work for you, that show your personality. Because like one of our trainings, some people say, hey, gorgeous, or hey, beautiful. I don't do that. I call people beautiful and gorgeous, but I'm not going to call them that because that's just not me. So that's what I do. I give them a compliment, something that you saw on their page or whatever. And then I say something like, I truly believe a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I just love your personality, another emoji. And then I say something about the business. So you can say something about, I used to say, I absolutely need somebody like you on my dream team for my business, or something like, I hope you're not offended, but I actually own my own business, and I would love to tell you all about it. Or I think you would be, you don't even have to say it's anything about your team or a business. You could say, I want you on my dream team. You could say something about the business. But if you don't, you could say something like, I think you would be so amazing at what I do. I would love to tell you all about it. And then I say, message me when you have some time to chat. Another emoji. So I don't necessarily end it with a question, which I know some people do, but I don't. How do I word that? I say it like I have the power by saying, message me when you have a chance. Now, sometimes I don't like to say, just let me know, because then that gives them the power, and most of the time, if they don't want to message you back, they just won't. Now, some people will tell you no, and that's okay. Some people will read it and not respond. That's normal. That's nothing you're doing wrong. That's just how people are. So that's typically what I do as far as messaging. So I start with an emoji. I call them by a nickname, or you can say hey girl or hey love or whatever. Sometimes I say hey girl if their Instagram name doesn't have a name, or obviously Facebook will have a name. I give them a compliment, and then I mention the business in some way, but I try to really target it to them. I don't want to come off like, hey, I need you on my dream team, because that sounds like, I used to do that, but the reason why I don't anymore is because I feel like sometimes it can sound like you want them to enroll because you want it to benefit you. And you don't ever want people to feel that way. You want people to join because they want to know why this is going to benefit them. So when they are responding to you and they're asking, what is your business or whatever, I tell them a little bit about the business, or, I keep it very simple. But I really, really get to the point where I ask them why they would be interested in something like this. You want to find people's why, which we've all talked about in so many different trainings. But it's so important because everybody in this business needs to have a why. And it's going to change throughout your journey, but you need to have that reason so that when you get out of bed in the morning, you have that drive and you have a reason for what you're doing every single day. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to have anything to push you to want to be successful in this. So I think that's so important to, really build those relationships and really stay personal, and really be intentional with who you're messaging. Don't just get on social media and message anybody and everybody and be like, I want you to join my team, or you'd be amazing at this. If you look at their profile and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but if you're looking at their profile and, you maybe don't want to reach out to them for whatever reason, then don't. You don't want to message just anybody and everybody, because then you start to become unpersonal, and you really want to be intentional with who you're messaging. So I really, really reach out to people who I really think would be successful with this. And it's not in your power to tell somebody who's going to be successful and who's not, because you don't know. But, you want to be intentional with who you're messaging is my point. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have.
Okay. I'm going to just pull back on a few key points. First things first is cold messaging is kind of a weird word. There's a difference between cold messaging and spam messaging. So spam messaging would be literally just going down your friends list, people that you're following, and just boom, 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 and never interacting with them before. That is against compliance. What is okay, so it's like cold/warm messaging, I don't know what you want to call it, because you technically don't know the person, but cold can kind of seem like, I don't know, I always say warm message. You want to build that relationship before you start messaging. So liking and commenting and interacting, like Cassie said, with a question. So they're not off put by the fact that they got a message from you. Some people, instantly that I know you would be so awesome at this. We need to talk about this, whatever. And you can go ahead and message them. But other people, it may take time before you message them. So really cater it to that person. But just know that you have to build that relationship before you message somebody. Otherwise, it's against compliance, and it's just not okay. It does not make your business look good. You don't want to just be spamming people. You want to be thoughtful in your approach and your intention. So I love that you brought it up. The other thing that I want to mention is, for me, when I was working full-time, it was hard for me to try and message 25 people a day. So I would say message or interact with people on what works for you in your schedule. So don't overwhelm yourself with, if you work full-time and you've got, 10 kids, I don't know what, I feel stressed out too, and I'm full-time at home. But do whatever works for you in your schedule and how many people that you can handle, because you don't want to get overwhelmed where one day you message 25 people and that's so much that you just give up on messaging. So make sure that if you can message 5 people every single day, but you can be consistent with that, that's better than nothing. It's better than giving up after you've gotten overwhelmed. So do whatever is going to work for you in your schedule, and make sure that you do it every single day, that you have that plan that you're going to reach out to X amount of people every single day. So this kind of takes, I guess, unless anybody else has anything to add with messaging, I think Cass did a really good job. This will kind of lead into steps to success. So Jess, you want to go ahead and just talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sorry. I just have to mute it because you never know when a toddler is going to come pounding on the door. So, steps to success. Oh, man. If you don't have it printed out and we're now on the end of the 14th day of the month, you are doing something wrong. And that is probably why you're not successful in this business or having trouble. If you're writing it down, awesome. But if you're not somehow structuring your business around this, then you're going to get lost in the shuffle. And so, obviously, a lot of the newbies, you've already completed step number 1 by joining the party. And that kind of is going to lead you into setting up your auto shipment of that 80 bonus volume. And the reason why this is the very first thing I want to just touch on is because I feel like the importance of it gets lost in the excitement of a new distributor. So the way it was presented to me was, I think, the very best way, and the way you should think of it still to this day. If you feel like you don't have that money to do that auto shipment, you should think of it this way as well. Is 80 bonus volume, or 80 BV, is you could get wraps and you could sell those, and that's wrap cash. And then that in turn is going to go lead you into potential loyal customers or potential distributors. That is your biggest blitzing tool that you will have in your hands and then you are that much closer to 400 at the end of the month, you know. So, you know, obviously that is step number one, and it's such an important one, and I feel like it gets skipped over. You know, you're just so excited and ready to get those loyal customers that it gets skipped over. So I just wanted to touch on that. And then obviously boosting your business builder kit. This also was something that I try to get out there to everybody is if you don't have the money to boost your kit, don't worry about it. But if you do, and you think about it in the sense of $25 a wrap is what you're going to make back, you're going to make double your money on almost everything. And once again, going back to your biggest blitzing or launching tool, it's going to be the best thing for your business. So if you can do it, I highly recommend it. And I also recommend that you present that to your new distributors. Step number 2 is you're going to want to get those 4 loyal customers, and in turn, it just everything goes back to that wrap, obviously. But so getting your first loyal customers within the first 30 days of being in the business is going to get you the 120 in free product, and with that, if you've already got a ton of wraps and you're going from it, I would highly suggest, again, going back to purchasing wraps with your free product, and then maybe something you want to try, because then again, that's free money. You can wrap yourself for free, which you can post on social media. You can sell them and make money. Like all of this stuff, they are giving you the tools to be successful in this business, and if you're not utilizing them the best way for yourself, then you've got to figure out a different roadmap. So get your 4 loyal customers, and also something else that I think people forget about, because I see this expiring a lot on my team, is when you get those 2 loyal customers, you're going to start earning your wrap rewards. Mm-hmm. So same thing, just getting a box of wraps at a discounted price, and essentially, again, you're wrapping for free. And then your step number 3 is helping 3 other people do the same thing that you've just done, gather those 4 loyal customers. And the best way to think about the steps to success, basically, this is like a foolproof plan for you to be successful in this business. If you're filling that out every month, break it down weekly and even daily. So, because I know that the first couple of months I was in this business, it was a little bit overwhelming. You know, my team was growing, my loyal customers were growing. I was so scattered. And as soon as I printed out that Steps to Success, it changed like everything. And so if you're breaking it down into weekly and daily goals, so 4 loyal customers a month, even after you've gone Ruby and whatever, it's going to help you get to each of those ranks if you're completing that Steps to Success. So 1 loyal customer a month or 1 loyal customer a month, sorry, 1 loyal customer a week, and then 3 distributors. You could shoot for 1 distributor a week, and then you'll just be 1 over your goal. If you complete those Steps to Success, you're going to go diamond in this business very quickly, or double diamond, or anything. They have literally guaranteed for you to go Ruby in your first 3 to 6 months, as long as you are printing out those Steps to Success and looking at them every day and striving to fill those out. And the last little thing, I just recently watched a little video on YouTube about the Steps to Success, and it was a couple in the business, and they talked about how they break it down into weekly goals. And if Fridays come along and you haven't got that 1 loyal customer, they kind of make it an incentive so that they can go do something for the rest of the weekend. Like, we're going to go on a date tonight. Well, if you haven't got that 1 loyal customer before that date, either you're staying in that night and just, working your butt off, or you know, you're wearing your It Works gear to dinner or taking your Blitz cards. Like, I can't tell you how many Blitz cards I have in my diaper bag for, like, running into moms at the park. I just met 3 new moms at the park. So, you know, just giving those, just constantly knowing where you're at is always going to go back to your steps to success. And I just kind of want to end just real quick on, I just recently saw a post on Dustin Bland's page, and he, like, literally broke it down for everyone, and it was so eye-opening. But, you know, he put, like, this person enrolled this person, and she enrolled me, and I enrolled her. And every single person in that box was a diamond and above. But if you were to put it in a Ruby chart, there it is. And so that's really all I have to say about steps to success. I hope it's helpful.
Well, so one thing for success, sorry, I'm like echoing. The one thing that I love with it is just like knowing that there's no secret sauce. There's nothing special about this business. There's nothing special that any of these ladies have done. They're literally using the steps to success as their guide. When you look at the steps to success, the last step is to go Ruby. And that, if you look at a diamond chart, diamond is made up of 3 rubies. So if you're doing that every single month and you're helping 3 people start their business and you're teaching them to do the exact same thing, that's how you can build to diamond and very quickly, you know, or you can build your business and build a strong team. You know, make sure that you use that as your guide. So don't just look at it and say, okay, like go out there and strive that is your goal every single month, that you need to fill out those spaces that are on that chart. I was listening to Pam Souter went live at a wrap party with Renessa Brown, and she was talking about, you know, everybody wants a secret lotion or the potion or the motion. They want to touch you and they want to figure out what you're doing. And there's nothing different that I've done. I've just filled out the steps to success more times than anybody else. You know, anybody else, if you're asking like, what have I done? I've just done it over and over and over, more and more times. So use that as your tool and use that to help excel your business. Use that as your guide every single month. You should be printing it out first of the month, have that out so you know what your goals are, and you're not just kind of aimlessly working through the month. You know, you need to set goals and have that focus. So this is a perfect thing because it's going to lead me to Kaylee to kind of cover goals and mindset and being successful.
As I'm yawning, sorry.
I know. It's late for y'all, so, and you're pregnant, so I would already passed out.
Okay, so I kind of feel like the first part when you join, the most important thing is confidence. I know when you first join, and like definitely for me, when I first joined, I had no idea what I was doing, and nobody does. Even if you were a loyal customer before, you know about the products, but you don't know what you're doing. Nobody knows, and nobody can really tell you exactly what to do that's going to work for you. You don't know that. So you're kind of trying to see how things go and playing it by ear, and you literally have no idea. I just remember my first month, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I love it already. And I just kind of show that excitement and that enthusiasm, and that helps people be okay that you don't necessarily know what you're doing, but they trust you. People feed off of your excitement and your confidence. So if you are confident in what you're selling, like I had never tried a product whenever I first joined. I feel like Kelsey asked me to join, and I was like, yep, okay. Like, I don't need a wrap. I don't need to try a wrap yet. Like, I'll be okay. Like, let's just do it. So I feel like I just joined like that without even trying anything. And honestly, I kind of feel like it helped me because I was totally honest with people when they would ask me about products. I would say, you know, I'm not really sure, but let's do this together. Like, I may not know what I'm talking about yet, but I have full confidence that these work, or there wouldn't be so many successful people in this business type thing. So confidence is super important when you first join. The next thing is if you're not successful, you need to take a step back and look in the mirror and figure out what it is that you're doing wrong. And for me, it was my mindset. I didn't wake up every day and say, I'm going to sign a loyal customer today, or I'm going to reach out and talk to somebody new today. I wasn't doing that. And that's why I went Ruby in my first month. and I just went Emerald last month. And I joined in June last year, so if you're doing the math at home, I was Ruby for quite a long time. So when those bonuses came out and when I went to conference, I kind of looked in the mirror and I was like, what is happening? Why am I not successful? Well, I didn't wake up every day with a goal or with, I wanted to be successful in the business and I knew I wanted to be successful, but I wasn't doing what it took to be successful. And so you kind of have to have the mindset coming into this business that you're going to be successful regardless of what happens. You are going to make it and you are going to do it. And that's the mindset that you have to have throughout the entire business, regardless of what happens. You're going to come across months that are so hard. You're not signing anyone. You're not talking to anyone. Your business is stagnant. You're frustrated. It's going to happen. It happens to everyone. But those are the months that when you push through, you completely change your business. So to have the mindset constantly that you're going to do whatever it takes for your family, you have to remember your why. I know we say that like every single day of the business, but it's literally so important. And like obviously your why will change. I wasn't pregnant when I joined the business, and I got pregnant in the winter, and that completely changed my business. I want to give this little boy everything he could ever want. And so that drives me every single day now to want to do better. And I feel like you have to keep that mindset constantly throughout your business. Don't ever let your why be your excuse that you are too busy or you had to take your son or daughter here or there. Well, I can tell you that there are plenty of people who work full-time jobs, who have kids, who have another side job on top of this job, on top of their full-time job. And nobody has time in this business. So you have to put all of those aside and remember why you joined and let that fuel you to want to do better and to wake up every day with a goal, which will take me into like goals a little bit. It helped me. I started 2 months ago actually writing my monthly goals down. And I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. I've just never been that type of person. I just kind of always speak a goal into existence and know that it's there, but actually writing it down and seeing it all the time is so, so helpful. I wrote on my mirror that I wanted to be diamond by 2016 or March, and you always see people do that, and it actually really does help just seeing it every day. And, I would start to write down stuff that me and my husband wanted to do. We want to travel. We want to build a house. I'm writing all this stuff down, and I'm looking forward to it, and it pushes me every day because I know that I want to get it done. So seeing it every day, either on your fridge, in your car, wherever it may be, is going to help motivate you to want to reach those goals. So writing stuff down is super important. That's for like long-term goals, obviously, but also for short-term goals. You should write down goals every single month. So obviously your goal every single month should be to fill out your steps to success. I always like to tell all my new distributors to not overwhelm yourselves. They always ask me, what's a good goal for me? And I'm always like, I can't answer that for you. You have to know what a good goal is going to be for you. Erin touched on it a little bit, but I'm busy. I work a full-time job. I coach volleyball on the side. It's a travel team, so I'm traveling constantly. I might not have time to reach out to 30 people a day. So I do what's comfortable for me and what I know I can get done in a day. Because I know if I set a goal that's too high and I want to reach out to 50 people and I don't, that doesn't motivate me to want to do more. That's discouraging. So make sure that you're setting goals that are going to be attainable. And at first you won't know, so you're going to have to do trial and error. Start with a goal that's you think is going to be good for you. If you consistently aren't hitting that goal, maybe lower it a little bit so that you are reaching your goals and not, I'm not going to say shooting too high, but if you can't reach your goal, it's going to be discouraging to you. So make sure that you're doing and setting goals that are going to be attainable for you to get done in a day. And I think, I was also going to say, make sure you have an accountability partner. That is super important. Somebody who is not in your downline, somebody who is a sideline, make sure that you have them so that they can check in on you and you can check in on them, and it's kind of just a motivating factor. They don't know what's going on in your team. They don't know necessarily, all the ins and outs of your exact business, but just make sure that you get somebody that you know is going to push you every single day, because that seriously helps so much. When you see them signing people and you see them getting loyal customers, that's going to motivate you to want to do the same. So just make sure that you are reaching out to somebody who's on a sideline or somebody you're close with in the business who have an accountability partner to do that for helping people. The last thing I think to say is know that you can be successful. Obviously, our team is very successful. We have, 3 ambassadors just taken off and done really well. So they've been successful. They're not doing anything different than what. So just know that you can be successful too. You just have to.
Okay. My dog started barking like uncontrollably, so I was panicked that my microphone was not on mute. So thank the Lord. And I'm just praying that they don't start barking. So, but I love that there's a few things that I love that you brought up. One is just like the accountability partners. I always stress that because I think it's so, so important to find somebody else that's not on your team that can challenge you and that can become your lifelong friend and can put things out there, and y'all can challenge each other and set different goals and whatever. But in this business, there's a lot of talkers. There's a lot of talkers, and there's a lot of people that say that, and Brittany Landrum always calls it, there's a lot of wanters. There's a lot of wanters in this business, and they want things. And I want to be, double diamond, or I want to be triple diamond. I want to be making this amount of money. I want this for my family. But there's a lot of people that don't work for it. So the thing is, if you're going to put it out there and you talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. You have to be willing to put in the work and the effort that it takes to get there. It takes a lot of time and a lot of messaging and a lot of work to get to Ambassador Diamond. It took a lot of time. It took me 20 months. It takes people even longer sometimes. It just takes consistency and always building your business. So know that if you're going to set that goal for yourself, you have to be willing to put in the effort and the time and the work to get there. So make sure that your goals are obtainable, that it's okay to shoot high or whatever, but just make sure that it's something that's not going to put you in a mode where you feel so defeated and it's going to hinder you from working your business and pushing you more. So just make sure that those goals, are really catered to you. So April is going to share. She has an awesome organization tip, so I'm really excited to learn this because I think everybody can always be better at organization, so I'm really, really excited to hear this, and then kind of talking about some follow-up messages too.
Okay, great. I am a former special education teacher, so paperwork and data and documentation was a really, really big deal to me, and I guess I'm a bit inattentive. I had to have a notebook. First, I want to talk about just following up with your loyal customers. I know, especially when you first start just getting loyal customers, it's like the goal, get them. But I'll tell you straight up, all your loyal customers joined either in the beginning just to support you or because of your enthusiasm. Your follow-up is going to yield loyalty. If you sign somebody, especially say you sign them as a product tester and you never follow up on them, you just made yourself a liar because you needed a product tester. You wanted someone to give you feedback or maybe take pictures. You asked for that in your post and then you never follow up. They never hear from you again. Then it's very clear why you wanted them. You just wanted business and that was it. And that really makes you look bad. For a lot of your customers, I know for me, so many of my customers are looking to get healthy, to lose weight, and for some of them, I'm their only cheerleader. So me following up is what keeps them going. I am their encouragement. If you've ever tried to lose weight, you can do really like the first 2 weeks or whatever, and then it's easy to fall off. So if you don't have somebody that kind of in your corner checking on you, you drop off. Well, for you as the distributor, them falling off are a lose business. So checking in with your loyal customers is, I mean, it's helping them, it's helping your business. For me too, I check back with a lot of my customers, and I can't tell you how many times I've gone back to check with them. They've either been using the products incorrectly, they have not been consistent, and me checking back and them saying, oh, well, like this system, I've had several people, you know, I meant to take this, I keep forgetting. You know, taking supplements isn't about time. It doesn't take time to take Thermofit. It doesn't take time to drink your greens. It takes consistency. It takes suggestions like, hey, well, you know what? Set reminders in your phone. Oh, gosh, that's such a simple solution. So giving those kinds of things and being that person for your customers, that follow-up, again, is going to yield loyalty. Them keeping their auto ship on for more than the 3 months, that is going to yield them telling their best friend, their sister, their mama, their brother, whomever, hey, look, this is really working for me. Because bottom line, consistency is going to yield results, and you want them to be successful because that makes your business successful. Another important reason following up, wrap instructions. If you don't have wrap instructions, you can get them off the files off any of our team pages. Ask one of your leaders. Ask somebody. Every single person that buys a wrap from you needs to get a personal message from you with wrap instructions attached to that. And it needs to be very explicit. It needs to include just the basics, downloading the wrap app, drinking their water, taking their pictures, how to open the package and unfold it, which side to put on them, like basic how to use those wraps from start to finish. That's huge. For me, the way that I keep up with my loyal customers, I have a notebook. I'm going to try to show it to you. This is not mine. I did tweak it to make it mine. I went to the One Team One Mission meeting in Shelby several months ago, and this is one of the came up with this. It's not cute. I'm not artsy craftsy. You could probably make yours cute. That's great. So it's just a normal binder. Inside this notebook, I have my chart that I'm working on at the time, and then I also have a section that has our guidebook. It has our commission plan. It has some of the things that I've printed off, the files that were reporting to me from our team pages. And I also have just a folder where I keep receipts for myself, just for my business. But the key thing for following up with loyal customers, let me see if I can show you. I have these tabs right here. These tabs are numbered 1 through 20. And then 25 through 28. These represent dates within a month. Every month has at least 28 days, so that's why I only went to 28. I only went 1 through 20 because all auto ships run by the 25th. So I only numbered mine 1 through 20 because I intend to check up with every loyal customer before, obviously, their auto ship runs. So behind each number. All right, so let's say Cassie enrolls with me on the 7th of the month. I don't put her behind 7. I put her behind 4, or 3, or even 1. And I have kind of a loyal customer sheet. I don't know if you can see that. I have a loyal customer sheet that I created for myself. It's got their ID number, their enrollment date, if I placed them somewhere, whom I placed them under, email address. Did I send them samples, what their goals were, when they ordered, what they ordered, and how I followed up with them. And I also make a note of whether or not they were a product tester. So let's say she signs up, I for her, I send her the emails, and then I put her behind 3 or 4. So let's say we get to the 3rd of the month. These numbers are the date of whatever date is. So the 3rd of the month, I'm going to flip to 3, and there's everybody that I need to check up with that day. So I'm not trying to keep up with all of my people at one time. I have one day, like so today is, what is today, like the 14th. So I flipped to the 14th and I did check up today. But like yesterday, I had 3 or 4 people that I had to follow up with, and I was very personal. I sent them very personalized messages. you know, hey lady, your next shipment's going to be coming out on the 16th. How to be able to take it consistently. If you need to make any changes on this next order, let me know how I can help you. I'm here for you. Let me know. Just something quick, short. How are your goals? Whatever their goals were, respond personally to that, and let them know that if they do need to make edits, they need to make it before the 16th. Just quick and simple. This has been very, very important to me. And just tonight, I sat down and sent a quick message to one of my girls, and come to find out, she had not gotten all of her order. She didn't even realize, she thought she'd just make when she placed the order, but no, it wasn't. It was a shipping mistake. She sincerely did not get all of her order. So I submitted a ticket to get that worked out. She would have not even picked up on that. So that customer service is making, they trust you, they rely on you. When they have questions, they're going to come to you. It's going to ensure success for them, and success for them means success for your business. There's just really no other way to say that. Is that clear? Did I explain the notebook? Does that make sense, the way I explained the notebook?
I'm going to upload your file to the team page, because I really love that.
Yeah, sure.
I'm probably going to have, because it was a good template and tool that I think a lot of people can benefit from. The thing is, with loyal customers, is you have to make, you almost become their accountability partner. Just like in the business, they need somebody that is going to be there for them and looking out for their best interest and making sure that they get everything. So, always the fortune is in the follow-up. If you take care of your customers, oftentimes a lot of those customers end up becoming distributors. They're loving the products. They want to start making money because they already have that product testimony. So take care of your loyal customers. But I really love that form that you have. So I'm going to ask you to upload it so that way everybody can kind of do something like that. Does anybody else have anything? Or April, were you done covering everything?
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't want to cut anybody off. Because I know we're getting kind of late, and I know everybody's got stuff to do, and it's late. So I think we are all done unless anybody has anything else to add at all. You good?
You know what? There was one quick thing that it's popped up, especially for maybe the newer people. Right now, just remembering that your Facebook page or your Instagram page really, well, it may have been personal 2 months ago before you started, and you may have been posting political stuff or your opinions or whatever. Yes, it's still your Facebook page, but it also just became the face of your business. And if you are being extremely negative or being very vocal about political views or other things going on, and posting things that are derogatory. I'm not saying don't be yourself, but remember that your Facebook page just became your storefront, and you can very quickly, with a video that you might think is funny but could have offended 90% of the people, or a meme that is just straight nasty, or even some of the language that you used. It might be funny that you send to your sister, who will just think it's hysterical, but everybody else around you, you could lose business. I mean, it's very easy to click unfollow very quick, and you can offend easily. So just remember that, it's a storefront now. It is your business. Be positive.
Yeah, and they
keep it neutral.
Yeah, I found a bunch of places on Facebook too, that I didn't utilize before. Groups, go be a part of a political group, or just find your outlet somewhere else besides your face, because you don't, like she said, you don't want to be offending anybody. And not that your opinions don't matter, but maybe find a good group to become a part of on Facebook to express those concerns. Yeah,
I love it. We have to always stay positive, because people are always watching. They always are watching people that you would never even expect. So I want to thank you, ladies, for taking time out of your night to join me for this training. I know a lot of people are already messaging me that they're loving it, so this is so awesome. This link will always be up, so everybody can go back and utilize it as a tool for information, all that kind of stuff. So I hope everybody has a great night, and we thank you guys.
Thank you.